Good morning to all. Next topic is bias compensation techniques. So already we have seen stabilization technique. In stabilization technique, the collector current will be reduced by varying the base current by using resistive biasing circuit. So next method is bias compensation technique. So in this technique, how will we reduce the collector current? So for that, we are going to use the temperature sensitive device such as diode, transistor, thermistor, sensistor, etc. So by using this temperature sensitive device, we can able to reduce the collector current. So in this technique, we are going to see the 4 types of methods, that is compensation methods. First one, diode compensation for base emitter voltage. Second one, diode compensation for ICO. And third one, thermistor compensation. And fourth one, sensistor compensation. Right? So first one, diode in emitter circuit. So in that circuit, we have to consider emitter bias circuit. So that is the last third biasing, voltage divider bias or emitter bias. So in that circuit already we have redrawn the voltage divider rule. So the circuit will be redrawn like this. That is R1, R2 potential resistors changed into RB. By applying voltage divider rule, we can get this voltage, input voltage V. So from that circuit, we can add one more circuit with the help of this diode. Right? So and one more resistance RD and power supply VDD. So consider a self-bias circuit. Here, the diode is used as a compensating device, which is connected with emitter terminal, right? So we can consider the emitter bias circuit. In that circuit, we are going to add the one more diode, which is connected to the emitter terminal. This diode is used as a compensating device. So in that circuit, the diode and the transistor must be of the same type of material. That is same type of material. So here the diode is acting as a forward bias because the diode positive terminal is connected to the positive terminal of VDD and the negative terminal of diode is connected to the negative terminal of VDD, right? So the diode acts as a forward bias. Here both diode and transistor will have a same temperature coefficient across VBE, right? Because both the diode and the transistor may be a same type of material. So both manufacturing as a same type of material. So it both will have a same temperature coefficient across the base emitter voltage. So if any change in the collector current due to change in ICO or in VBE, that is temperature parameter. So when the collector current changes, by changing the temperature parameter like reverse saturation current ICO or beta or base emitter voltage. So any change in collector current due to this ICO or VBE will be compensated by the corresponding change in the diode voltage VD, right? So if any change in VBE, it will be compensated by the diode VD because both the transistor and diode manufacturing as the same type of material. So if there is any change in the VBE, it will compensate by VD. The reason is the transistor and the diode both will have a same temperature coefficient across the VBE because both having a same type of material. So it will shown by deriving the calculation. For that, first apply the KVL at the input side. So total voltage V equal to IBRB plus VBE plus IB plus ICRE minus VD. So this is the input circuit. So in input circuit, what are the components is there? This voltage and base resistance and the base emitter voltage and RE resistance and the diode voltage. So by applying KVL, we can write the equation total voltage V equal to the voltage across base resistance IBRB and the voltage across base emitter voltage VBE and the voltage across emitter resistance IERE and the diode voltage VD. So here the polarity change only in diode terminal. So here we are using minus. So here IE is nothing but base current plus collector current. So consider the leakage current. Already we know the leakage current IC is equal to beta IB plus 1 plus beta ICO. So now substitute IB equal to, that is IC is equal to beta into IB. So substitute that equation, that is IB equal to IC by beta, because here we have the equation of IC. So change this IC into IB by beta. So LHS side we have keeping IB, and RHS side multiply with beta, divided with beta, because IC is equal to beta into IB. So we have to change this equation in terms of IB. So beta is divided into this RHS side. So IB equal to IC by beta and 1 plus beta ICO by beta. Now substitute IB equation in equation 1. Already we derived the KVL equation, V is equal to IB RB. So for that we have to substitute this IB value into RB plus RE, because we have a emitter current IE, RE. IE is nothing but IB plus IB. So we have to take IB as a common, for that IB to substitute here, plus ICRE plus VBE minus VD. So after simplification, this simplification is I derived in the next slide. So we have that equation V equal to IC plus, that is IB value into RB plus RE plus ICRE plus VBE minus VD. Now to multiply and divide beta value to this term only, ICRE term only. So the equation changed as IC by beta into RB plus RE plus beta ICRE by beta plus 1 plus beta ICO by beta into RB plus RE plus VBE minus VD. So directly multiply and divide this term with this term and get this equation. Now we'll take IC by beta is common. So RB plus RE plus beta beta, IC by beta is common. So remaining term beta into RE plus 1 plus beta ICO RB plus RE plus VBE minus VD. So now only take this term one side and remaining are other side. So IC by beta RB plus RE plus beta RE equal to V minus IC by 1 plus beta ICO by beta into RB plus RE minus VBE plus VD. So we can take minus is common, so minus VBE minus VD. So from that we can find IC. IC is equal to this divided beta is goes to this side to get a multiplication beta into V minus VBE minus VD minus RB plus RE into 1 plus beta divided by beta. So this is our final equation. So from that equation we can conclude that VD tracks VBE with respect to temperature, right? It is nothing but from that above equation we can conclude that IC will be insensitive, that is IC will be constant to varying in VBE, because if we varied VBE means automatically it will change the collector current, right? If VBE increases means base current increases, which will increase the collector current. But in that equation, that is in that compensation technique, IC will be insensitive to variation in VBE. That means if we have to vary VBE, it does not change the IC. The reason is VBE and VD, that is the transistor and diode, both the device manufactured as the same temperature coefficient across the VBE. If VBE value changes means that amount of value will change at VD also. So both terms become cancelled. So by the way, we have to maintain the collector current is constant. Is it clear now? So next one is what? Diode compensation for ICO. So for that we have considered the voltage divider circuit. That is the initial circuit. That is before applying the voltage divider rule. So in that circuit we have to add the diode in series with the R2 resistance. Add the diode in series with the R2 resistance. So here also the temperature transistor and diode both are manufacturing as a same type of material, and the diode act as a forward bias. That is, this positive terminal of diode is connected to the positive terminal of VBE and negative terminal of diode is connected to the negative terminal of VBE. So here both the metals have the same type and material. So now if VBE changes by tau VBE with change in temperature, VD also changes by tau VD. The same concept as I told in the earlier, right, previous circuit. If VBE changes means changes with temperature, VD also changes by dou VDS, because both transistor and diode having a same type and material. So it tends to cancel each other. In that way, we have to maintain the collector current is constant. So this is the theory concept. How it will achieve, we'll see that equation. So we know the emitter current is nothing but I equal to V by R, Ohm's law, VE by RE. So V is nothing but VB minus VBE, because we know base emitter voltage VBE equal to base voltage minus emitter voltage. From that equation, we can change VE equal to VB minus VBE. So IE is nothing but approximately equal to IC. So VB minus VBE by RE. So here in that circuit, the base voltage is nothing but voltage across the resistor 2 and the diode voltage. So the sum of these two voltage is nothing but base voltage. Now substitute this VB value into this IC equation. So IC is equal to VR2 plus VD minus VBE divided by RE. Here VD minus VBE. If the VBE amount will change, that amount of value also changed at the VD. For example, VB changes to 5 volt means VD also changes to 5 volts. So both cancel to each other. So in that way, we have to maintain the collector current is constant. So here the diode will compensate the increasing collector current. Is it clear? This is the compensation technique. Next, third method is thermistor compensation. So thermistor device is nothing but it has a negative temperature coefficient. Negative temperature coefficient means its resistance value decreases with increase in the temperature. That's why it's called as negative temperature. That is the resistance value. It is clearly shown that graph. If the resistance value RT decreases, it will increase the temperature exponentially with increasing temperature. So the slope of the curve is dou RT by dou T. So in same way, next method is sensistor compensation. So sensistor compensation is nothing but it's a positive temperature coefficient, which means its resistance increases with exponentially increasing the temperature, both increasing gradually. But negative temperature means opposite. If resistance increases means temperature decreases. If temperature increases means resistance decreases. Right? So let's see the thermistor compensation. How we are going to compensate the increasing collector current, right? So using a thermistor in a circuit, minimize the increase in IC due to change in VBE, beta or ICO with the temperature. So here we are going to use the thermistor device. So by using this device, we are going to compensate the increasing collector current due to this temperature parameter. So consider the voltage divider bias circuit. So here the R2 resistance is replaced by thermistor resistor RT. Okay. So if the temperature increases means what happened? Automatically the resistor value reduces because it is a negative temperature coefficient. So if temperature increases, it will increase the collector current. We know that. It also decreases this thermistor resistance. So if the resistance value decreases means then the voltage drop across the resistor value decreases because V is equal to IR. So if the RT value, resistance value decreases means the voltage drop across VRT become reduced. So here VRT is nothing but the voltage across the base terminal, that is VBE. So if VBE voltage reduces means what happened? Already we know if VBE reduces now, it automatically reduces the base current. By the way, the collector current also reduced. Right? So this is the concept of thermistor compensation techniques. Next one, sensistor compensation. So already I told you sensistor compensation is a positive temperature coefficient. Its resistance increases with increasing the temperature. So this is the slope of the curve. So here also we consider the same voltage divider circuit, but the difference is sensistor resistor is replaced by the R1 resistors. Okay. Now RT and R2 are the two resistors act as a potential divider. As temperature increases, what happens is RT also increases. If RT increases means the voltage drop across the resistor also increases. So here voltage is increases means the voltage drop across R2 resistance become decreases, because we know the voltage is high in one particular place, the voltage drop across next resistance become very low. So this voltage drop across R2 become reduces. So what happened? This voltage is nothing but VBE. So VBE also reduced. It automatically reduced the base current. Then automatically collector current also reduced. So in that way we are going to stable the constant the collector current. Next one, thermal stability. So already we know what is meant by thermal runaway. That is the cumulative process of heating. That is called as thermal runaway, right? So the collector base junction temperature may rises due to the two reasons. Collector base junction temperature is rises due to the two reasons. One is ambient temperature, another one is self-heating. So these are the two reasons for temperature increase at the collector base junctions. So thermal resistance is nothing but the steady state temperature rises at the collector base junction, which is proportional to the power dissipated at the junction, right? Already we have seen this point in a thermal runaway. If the collector current increases means collector current increases, it automatically increases the power dissipated at the collector base junctions. So when the collector current increases, the temperature increases means the collector current increases. So the temperature as well as the power dissipated at the collector base junctions become directly proportional, right? So Tj minus dA directly proportional to power dissipated at the collector base junction. So Tj is nothing but junction temperature, A is nothing but ambient temperature. So we have to remove this proportionality constant into theta. So Tj minus Ta equal to theta into power dissipated at the collector base junction. So from that we have to find theta value. Theta equal to Tj minus Ta divided by Bd. So the condition for thermal stability is very important in a 2 mark questions. So condition for thermal stability is nothing but the rate at which the heat is released at collector junction. The rate at which the heat is released at the collector junction must not exceed at the rate at which that heat can be dissipated. அதாவது how much amount of heat is released at the junction, it should not exceed at the power dissipated at that particular junction, which is called as the thermal stability, right? So which can be expressed in a mathematical expression tau Pc by tau Tj less than or equal to tau Bd by tau Tj. That is, the heat is released at the junction must not exceed the rate at which the power dissipated at the junction. So differentiate equation 1 with respect to Tj. So this term becomes 1. So this is equation 1. Differentiate this equation 1 with respect to Tj. So dj differentiate dj become 1 and there is no here Tj, so it becomes 0, which is equal to theta into tau Bd by tau dj, right? So we consider this is the equation number 1. So differentiate this equation with respect to Tj. So this term become 1, this term becomes 0, this term equal to theta into tau Bd by tau dj. So from that tau Bd by tau dj is equal to 1 by theta. So tau Bc by tau Tj less than or equal to, this value is nothing but 1 by theta. So this is the condition of thermal stability. There is tau Bc by tau Tj less than or equal to 1 by theta. I hope you all understand this concept. Thank you.